folks? How you doing out there? This is Dale, and welcome to my garage. I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Ed Gamble. He's sitting right here next to me.
Hey, guys.
All right, and last week, we dove into many topics, all right? We dove into some trivia, some top fives. We talked about some crazy bitches. We talked about four-wheelers and flipping cars and stuff like that. It was a pretty good time, wasn't it?
Well,
Ed?
don't forget about them fucking aliens that probed my asshole.
No, exactly. We talked about some paranormal activities. All right. We also had a special guest last week, Gene from Gene's Genocide. He was a wonderful guest. I'd just like to thank Gene again.
But don't forget, he won't be a recurring guest unless you guys like him.
Well, we'll wait for the folks to get back to us on that one. Anyways, this week we're going to do things a little bit different. Today we're going to be talking about our most prized possessions. And we're going to be playing a little bit of show and tell here, except for you won't be able to see, but we'll tell you all the crazy stories about some of the items that we've brought with us today. And then also we're going to be doing a little bit more top fives. We're going to spin this wheel that Ed made over here. We're also going to be doing some trivia with our next special guest today. And we're just going to be waiting for knocking on Dale's garage door. And until then, Ed, would you like to add anything?
Well, today I brought my own special guest.
All right.
I hope you don't mind.
Well, I don't mind at all.
He's basically my new best friend.
Wait, new best friend? What about me?
Well, he's not a better friend than you, Dale, but he's getting there.
All right. Well, do I know the guy or...
I think you might have seen him a couple of times before. He's 3'2", and I met him at the Walmart parking lot.
Wait, what? Like a midget or something? I don't get it.
Well, have you been to the zoo recently?
Well, no, not recently, because I heard they were getting shut down for some kid falling in the snake pit or something and getting all fucking bitten up.
Well, yeah, funny story about that. It's a damn shame it's closing down. After that kid fell in the snake pit, that was just tragic. Weren't you there when it happened?
No, I read about it in the newspaper, though. It was a huge story, and I guess the place is getting shut down. I guess it wasn't safe enough or something like that, which is a damn shame because everybody likes to go to the zoo, you know?
Well, can you guess who was transporting those animals?
Oh, was it Gene? Did he get the job?
Well, yeah, he did get the job.
Yeah, that's right, folks. Last week we had a guest on our show, Gene from Gene's Genocide, and he's been dabbling a little bit into that animal control. Okay, and seems like he was transporting some exotic animals. Well, that's a hell of a start for Gene.
Well, Gene gave me a call about those animals I should come see before he hauls them out. Because you know I'm a big animal guy. I love animals.
Oh, Ed loves animals. He is a great man, except for that deer you ran over with your four-wheeler. But that's a different story. That's a little bit of, you know.
Predator versus prey.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Well, I met him in the Walmart parking lot, and a bunch of exotic animals, like exotic birds and baby caiman, otters, and just a whole food chain in there.
Damn, that's crazy. He was transporting caiman and otters? That just don't sound right to me.
But it's pretty cool, right? We can agree
it is pretty cool. And cheers to Gene.
Well, I fell in love with this cutie that had my eyes. EJ, come on out here. Don't worry, he ain't gonna bite. Just don't stick your finger in his mouth.
He ain't gonna bite. What do you mean?
Come on, EJ, don't make me tell you twice. Oh, I'll be right back. I'll go get him.
Holy shit, Ed. Is that a fucking chimpanzee?
Well, ain't he just the cutest thing you've ever seen?
Oh, well, I mean, I have not seen a chimpanzee this close in person before, folks. Ed just brought a chimpanzee into the garage, and I'm a little on edge right now. Ed, tell me what is going on right now.
Well, hell yeah. I traded car parts for him, Dale.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That car flipping business ain't gonna work.
Well, what are you getting into the chimpanzee flipping business now? I don't understand. I mean, Don't get me wrong. He seems like a nice little fella, but is he trained properly? Like, what's his deal?
Well, let me introduce him a little bit better. Now go shake Dale's hand.
Hey there, little fella. He's kind of shy, isn't he?
He's very shy.
Oh, my fucking hand. He won't let go. He won't let go.
Hey, what did I say about using your thunder grip?
Look, man. Oh, my fucking hand. He's got a fucking strong grip, man. You gotta be careful with this son of a bitch.
Don't worry, he won't hurt a fly.
Oh, God damn it.
Don't worry, he'll be fine. Just ice it.
I'll have to stick my hand in the cooler. Son of a bitch.
I've been trying to teach him a little bit about life. But did he know he was already potty trained?
Well, I guess I didn't because I haven't met him before now.
Well, he takes fat shit. He clogged up my damn toilet.
Oh shit! I can imagine. He's pretty sizable. I mean, for 3'2", I mean he's pretty big.
Did you know EJ stands for Eddie Jr.? He's basically my son I never had.
The son you never had. You have 2 sons, Ed. Did you forget about them?
Well, they love him, and so.
Well, but I don't get it. Do you let your kids around this chimpanzee? How?
Well, he plays with them just fine.
Well, what about your wife? Does your wife know about this?
Well, she doesn't know yet, and I don't plan on
my
saying
God.
anything. Well, don't say anything,
I ain't
or it's
gonna
my
say
it's gonna
nothing.
be my balls on the silver platter. Okay.
I wouldn't want that, Ed. I just want you to know that this could potentially be a very harmful beast. You know that, right?
Well, like I said, he's been trained around humans. Just because he shook your hand a little hard because you got no strength in your hand doesn't mean
I ain't no. You know, I got strong hands, but
no.
he's
You
got
don't.
stronger
You got
hands.
little girl hands.
You know what chimpanzees do to people when they freak out, when they get uncomfortable or feel threatened? They will literally rip your fucking face off. And then after you're disfigured, they will rip your dick off to make sure that you can't have kids ever again. I just want you to know that, Ed.
Well, I've never seen that happening, so it's not true.
Well, yeah, it is true. It is true. It's happened to a few folks in the past. It's like that lady who was with her chimpanzee that they've had for years. It's grown up with them, and then it literally ripped this woman's face off and just basically beat her to shit.
Are you saying I'm not responsible?
No, I'm not saying you're not responsible. I'm just saying raising a chimpanzee could even be harder than raising a child. And you raised 2 children, so
Well, he's like 35. You know they can live up to 50 years old. But he's about the same age as us, so he's got to be more responsible than my kids.
Well, I'll have to stop you right there, Ed. We're not disclosing our age on this show, but yeah, that's pretty old for a chimpanzee. I gotta tell you, they live till they're 50.
Yeah,
Damn.
Wikipedia said so.
Damn. Wikipedia's got all the facts. I'm telling you,
Damn right.
it's like a modern day encyclopedia, but it's on the internet.
Oh,
Hey,
read down,
EJ, don't put the wrench down.
Hey, he doesn't like when you yell at him. Okay.
Well, no, I'm not trying to yell. I'm sorry.
Hey,
EJ,
come here, buddy. Come here, buddy.
Thank you, EJ. Thank you for putting that down. I appreciate that. So, well, folks, I guess our special guest as of right now is a chimpanzee, and God damn it, I'm happy to have him here. All right, EJ, he's a wonderful little guy. All right, I can't lie. He's very human. His eyes, the way he looks at you. He's kind of a shy fella.
Yeah, doesn't he got my eyes, Dale?
For our next segment, we're going to be doing a little bit of show and tell. And it looks like you've already, I guess our first special guest kind of is a piece of show and tell because these are our most prized possessions.
Well, he isn't really my prized possession because, slavery isn't really a thing anymore. He's not a possession.
I'm gonna share with you guys something of a very, very dearly prized possession of mine. And that is right here. This is my daddy's eyeball. It's a glass eye.
Is that really his eye, Dale?
Yeah. You knew my papa. He lost his eye, and well, don't stare into it too long, Ed. We might feel his belt slap across your back porch. See, he lost his eye when he was violently trampled by a psychotic horse. I call it the all-seeing eye.
Well, I never knew your daddy had a glass eye. I always just thought it was a little bit wacky.
Yeah, no, it did look a little funny, but it was very realistic. And basically at the funeral, I seen him about to get buried, and I just couldn't let him go in the grave with that glass eye. It just wasn't a natural part of him. So I kind of just snatched it out of his head right before they put him, closed that casket. I just couldn't see my daddy buried with that. Plus I wanted a part of him to be a part of my life. So I keep it in my garage so that he can oversee the work that I'm doing. And I'll kind of look at the eye sometimes and just, know that I've got my daddy's blessing everywhere I go.
Well, that's a very fascinating show and tell. Thanks for sharing. It isn't as special as your daddy's glass eye, but it's something dear and near to me.
All right, what is that?
It's my four-wheeler.
Oh, it's your four-wheeler, eh? The one that you tore up?
It's just fine.
It's just fine after you hit that deer? Just clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, the insides are all gunked up with guts and blood, and it was just all caked on there.
Jesus Christ, Eddie. I love this Eddie guy. I just love Eddie. Let's get this garage open and let's pull that four-wheeler in here. We'll take a look at it together, and maybe you can share a couple things about it.
Okay.
Look at that thing. That thing is a fucking wild ride. I've had the opportunity to ride it just a couple of times. It's really fucking fast, and it's very loud. It doesn't really sound like a typical four-wheeler because Eddie has modified it with parts from an old Ford engine. This thing is a fucking beast. It's fucking loud. He's got fucking... I'm looking at your tires right now, and they're getting a little bald, Eddie. What are you going to do about that? You're going to have to get some new tires for these things pretty soon, huh? You've been tearing shit up. Can I get a yeehaw on that?
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Incredible.
Well, guess what? I've shown our little guest here what to do.
What did you show him?
Come on, buddy, hop on the four-wheeler.
Oh shit. Oh, he's pretending to ride it. That's the damn cutest thing I've ever seen. Look at this guy. Holy shit. Yeah, I wish you were seeing this, folks. I wish you were seeing this right now.
Well, I also taught him how to start the thing.
Holy shit, man. That's one fucking badass chimp right there. That's one badass chimp.
Well, start the machine, buddy.
You taught him to start it? No. Down the driveway. He's heading down the street. Ed, what do?
We have to go get him.
Oh, shit, no. Oh, my God, EJ. He just fucking wrecked. Oh, no. He hit that Ford Taurus down there. Holy shit. What are we going to do?
We have to go fix him.
I don't know. I don't see EJ moving around. We got to go. All right, folks. We're gonna cut this off real quick. We've got an emergency to respond to. All right, folks. I'm back. And what just happened was insane. I just can't express how insane that was. Anyways, listen. Basically, EJ got away on the four-wheeler. He wrecked into a car and is severely injured. I think both of his arms are broken. So EJ is now with him at the hospital trying to figure things out. He's also under questioning with the sheriff because, like I told Eddie, it's kind of unlawful to be owning a chimpanzee, and Eddie might be having to take responsibility for this one. We're hoping not, because I want Eddie to return soon. If not, he could be facing a pretty serious offense, because I know he's been through 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even just... I think he's been through about 5 run-ins with the law in the past year, so it's not looking too good for him. Anyways, just as EJ was shredding out of the garage, my special guest today was actually approaching and saw the whole thing, and I think he is pretty shocked and at a loss for words. But here he is, my good friend Douglin.
How you guys doing today? Sorry about that. I'm not here this whole podcast thing in your garage. Never been here before. It's a nice place.
Yeah, no, it is a nice place. I appreciate that. Thank you for the compliment. You know, I get a lot of work done out here in my garage. It's just a very manly place, and I think every man should have a
Let
certain
me
time.
interrupt you for a second. Is that why there's a cinnamon scented candle on your desk? It's a manly place, but there's cinnamon scented candles and cinnamon gum
What,
lying everywhere.
You got a problem with cinnamon gum?
Not at all. You're just, it seems manly. It doesn't seem very manly of you for cinnamon scented. Your wife gave you that or something? Because that's the only thing I can think
It
of.
was a gift from my wife. Just
Well,
just
then-
so you know.
I apologize for saying
Well,
anything
you
about
know,
that.
when we're getting baked in here and smoking on that stuff, we got to make sure it smells aromatic in here, like cinnamon, something strong, so that the sheriff don't come knocking on the door and say, "What is that?" And then he wants to search my garage, and then all of a sudden he's confiscating some of the illegal stuff that I got in here. I just don't really want to talk about. Anyways, Douglas, how you been doing today? And when did you actually come in from Scotland?
You want me to start with the Scotland part? 'Cause that sounds more like a better thing to do. So I came here a few years ago.
Yeah,
An
and
undisclosed relation in Europe.
So Douglas is from Europe. He's a Scot. Douglas, my friend, what brought you to the U.S. and did you get your green card?
It was a lengthy process. I'm still in the works. I'm here on a visa, but I don't want to be sent home because I told them I came out here to be an actor.
That's what a lot of folks be saying to get over here into this guy. And that goddamn Piers Morgan, stay the hell out of my country. So my friend Douglas over here, he works at a base pro tackle shop, and I buy all sorts of fancy products from this guy. And he's a very, very friendly guy. And I've just known him for, the past couple of years since he's been here from Scotland. Tell me, what has your experience been like in the U.S. so far? How do you like it?
Been here for a couple of years, and I do like it. It's better than home. Everything over there smells like fish. It's not a great smell. I prefer the cinnamon scented candle, to be honest.
Well, over here, especially in our neck of the woods, it smells like bonfires and gasoline. And that's a good smell. I like it. I like the smell of a running engine.
Well, that's a close second for me, Anything's better than fish guts, We pretty much take, I'm taking my skill from home. I was a fisherman. We didn't have no fancy, fishing poles or whatnot. We had the spears.
Damn, you guys were doing it.
We'd wade into the rivers and we'd spear the fish.
You guys were doing it the old-fashioned way. I'll tell you, that's some fucking crazy shit. And now, how about the people? How do you like the people out here, especially where we are?
Well, they're all generally lazy, kind of fat, doughy. Doughy, some would say.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that a little bit, but I'm also gonna have to disagree because I'm a man of fit nature. I inherited a lot of money, and God bless my father. And I've been able to do some good things with my life, and I know some of those are less fortunate. And
my father was beheaded.
Holy shit, he was beheaded. For what? Did he commit a crime or something?
He canned the fish wrong.
Man, what the fuck?
We canned fish in a rural village, and he fucked up and he got beheaded.
Did you see it happen?
Yeah. It wasn't like a beheading, like an execution. It was he's trying to close the lid on this giant can of tuna.
He closed his head on a can of tuna, a large can. What? You guys don't know what a shipping container is? Jesus Christ, man, that's fucking brutal.
It wouldn't have been that bad, except for it went about halfway through and stopped, and he was still breathing.
Oh man, that's dude. That is.
And the worst part was, we kind of cut the rest of it off and shoved the tuna down there and sealed it and shipped it. That's part of the reason I left. I think I've said too much already. Now, before you go off thinking like a giant kind of store tuna, it's like we do have a really primitive way. It's like barrels almost, like giant barrels. They're like drums,
wooden barrels, like wooden barrels.
You
that
guys
shit.
put beer in it, but we put tuna in it. And it's like one of those big ones, except for it's metal. And the lid lowers down onto it. And it's sharp around the edge, and then you bend the metal over on top of it, and it seals it. And
Jesus, so it's kind of like a machine or something. Man, that is just tragic. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry you had to witness such a horrible thing. I've witnessed a couple of crazy things too. Just like the time Eddie, he took a little too much skin off of his ass on this 4-wheeler wreck. It was pretty gross. I mean, his ass was shaved red down to the meat. All right, he going pretty damn fast down the road, and it's kind of gravelly a little bit. So it's kind of like you got to watch out. He just kind of cheese grated his ass. He was doing a wheelie, you see, and he was like completely vertical. And I mean, he was yeehawing. I think he had a beer in his hand. And, you know, he was just trying to show off for some pretty ladies that were over in the area. And basically just came straight down on his ass and slid about 40 feet, just cheese grating his ass the whole way. I mean, you should have seen this. It went through the pants and went through at least 2 or 3 layers of ass. And then it was finally just, he kind of stopped on the muscle. He did lose some feeling in the nerves on his ass, so he can't really feel nothing down there. It's pretty incredible. He actually did not go to the hospital because Eddie doesn't like Obamacare or healthcare or whatever he calls it. You should see the scar of this man. It's very bizarre. It's like his ass is just kind of right there. It's kind of like white, like just scar tissue. It's really unappealing, but you know. He's still with his wife, so I guess she don't mind much.
Well, I doubt she's very happy that he was showing off for the ladies.
No, when I mean he was showing off for the ladies, I meant he was showing off for his cousins. So, you know, it's not really that big of a deal. I mean, you know, everybody's got that cousin, you know.
No, I don't know. I don't have any cousins.
What happened? Why don't you have any cousins? Was your dad like an only father or an only child type of thing, and your mother like an only child or something like that?
I mean, my grandparents, they were one and done. They didn't want any more
Wow,
for both sides.
that's
So
pretty
it's just
crazy.
me. Same with my parents,
You
one
know,
and done. I have no siblings.
It's a lot different than out here in the U.S. It's like they just have one,
You guys
then
breed like
two,
rabbits.
then 3, then 4, and then all of a sudden you're paying child support for damn nearly 7 children, only half of which are yours technically, but legally you got 7. This country, I mean, we're only at what, population of 300 million or something like that. I'm expecting by the time it's the end of my life, I think we'll be up to probably double what we got now. So
You know, there's like 7 billion people in the world, right?
yeah, no, that it's kind of scary if you think about it. I mean, 7 billion. I mean, shit, there ain't even that many stars in the night sky, at least that I can see.
Can you count past 10?
No, see, now that's the thing. That's a misconception. Actually, I am a U.S. history major. I did go to college. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just fucking with you. I can count all the way up to, well, pretty much any number. But, you know, I just don't got the time to count really past 100. I mean, it's just a waste of time at that. Time's just a wasting by. And, you know, that's something to think about, folks. You know, don't waste your time counting numbers. You know, we got calculators and shit now anyway, so don't waste your time, folks.
What's a calculator?
You ain't never seen a calculator? It's like a little fancy computer that you just type some numbers into, and it'll do all sorts of equations and add numbers together, subtract, divide, multiply, you know, tangent, cosine, all that cool stuff.
Wow, that's fancy. The only thing I ever had to add was how many cans of tuna I sent out in a day, which was roughly 6, maybe 7.
Only 6 or 7, but they were big, hefty cans, right?
These are vats of tuna that you're pouring into cans, like big cans. It's like, I'm not saying 7 cans of tuna, I'm saying 7 shipments of tuna.
Well, that's incredible.
7 cargo containers full, just full of tuna, leaking out of
and
the
when
sides.
you ship them, are you guys just kind of shipping them all around? Who's your biggest buyer? I would guess that your biggest buyer was the United States. Am I right?
Yeah, you'd be right with that one. You guys eat a lot of fish.
We just love to buy anything but pay the smallest amount possible for it. That's one thing to think. Well, that's one thing that comes to mind when you think about America.
Well, I did the math, and roughly, for the amount you buy them for, we actually owe you money for every can you buy. Roughly 3 cents. We haven't made money
I'm not
in 6
sure
years.
about how that works. Maybe it's trickle down economics or whatever it may be, but I'll tell you what, our national debt is terrible right now, and I don't know what we're going to be able to do to fix that. I mean, we've got low unemployment rates, you know, that's good, but I just feel like some of our past presidents haven't done their job and kept all their promises, and, you know, that's kind of a damn shame, because I would really love someone like Dr. Phil in office, you know. He is so inspirational, and he's very smart. He is a doctor. He does have his doctorate. You know, not a lot of presidents are doctors. You know that.
Yeah, I know that.
All right, folks. So, me and our special guest here are going to jump into some trivia. And after we do some trivia, we're going to get into some top fives. So stick around. And I'm still waiting on a phone call from Ed, so I'm hoping he'll ring me up pretty soon. All right, we're diving into some trivia. All right, Douglin, are you ready, my friend, to get into some trivia?
Yeah, I guess I'm ready as I'll ever be.
All right, so since just me and you here today, answer the questions as fast as you can. I mean, you'll have a little bit of time to think about it. We're going to do 10. We're going to do 10 questions. Now, if you get in between 8 and 10 questions correct, you're a genius. If you get in between 6 and 8 right, you're smart. If you get in between 4 and 6 correct, you're probably just like the average, hick around here. If you get in between 2 and 4, you're kind of on the dumb side. But if you get in between 0 and 2, you're just fucking retarded. All right. Your first question. What is the largest freshwater lake in the world?
Lake Superior.
And you are correct. All right. He's 1 for 1 so far. All right. Second question. What is the only American state that begins with the letter P?
Pennsylvania.
Bing, bing, bing. We got a fucking winner so far. That's 2 for 2.
I mean, I had to take a test to get into this country,
All right. Hold on a second. I'm going to ask you something a little bit more tough. This is a little bit more sciencey. All right. Name the 3 primary colors.
red, blue, and green.
Well, my folks, he's 3 for 2 or 2 for 3.
What was the correct answer?
That is wrong. Actually, it's red, yellow, and blue.
Bullshit. That was close enough.
It was still wrong. I'm sorry about that, but you're still on a good roll here so far.
Next question.
All right. So, in what century was Shakespeare born? Was it A, the 1300s, B, the 1400s, C, the 1500s, or D, the 1600s?
I'm going to say the answer is the 1400s.
And you're wrong, my friend. I'm sorry. He was born the 23rd of April, 1564. All right. And for the next question, now you're 2 for 4. You're doing pretty good. The fifth question I got for you is, when did the Berlin Wall get ripped down?
That was 1991.
All right, look at that. Doing pretty good. 3 for 5. That's not bad. That's not a bad deal. Still got 5 more questions to go. Or 4 more questions to go. All right. Question 6 for you. What is the only chess piece that can move diagonally?
That's the bishop.
All right. Look at that. Doing pretty good so far. All right. I got a bit of a historical question for you. What is the oldest surviving printed book in the world?
What is Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet?
Incredible. That is so wrong. I cannot believe how wrong you were. All right, and the oldest printed book that's still surviving is the Diamond Sutra, and that was dated at 868 AD. I mean, that's old. The year 868 after death. All right, I got a question for you. I'm pretty sure this is question 8. What is an ebook?
Is that an actual trivia question? The ebook is like an online book. You from your calculators.
You are correct. You're doing pretty good. You got a couple more questions to go. All right. So, which popular BBC series is about old collectibles and began in 1979 is still running to this day?
My wife used to watch that show on our Fish TV. Antique Roadshow.
Bang, bang, bang. You've only missed a couple. You're doing pretty good so far. So, I mean, you can't really fuck up past this point. Now, the only last question I got for you is, do you want an easy one or do you want a hard one?
Give me a hard one.
Name the director of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Go ahead and take your time on this one.
That was my cousin, Peter Jackson.
Your cousin is Peter Jackson? How does that work?
Twice removed, cousin.
Well, holy shit. Well, I guess that wasn't such a hard question after all. But hey, look at that. You scored an 8 out of 10. All right, well, it looks like I'm sitting here with a goddamn genius who just scored an 8 out of 10. You hear that, folks? 8 out of 10. And for those of you listening at home, don't feel bad if you scored low, If Eddie had been here, he might have only scored a few of those. I don't think he was too keen on, like, stuff like the oldest book in the world and stuff, Some of those questions were tough, and I'd really like to thank you for playing that with us.
It's no problem at all.
So, aside from sitting here with a genius, I am trying to wait. I'm still waiting for a response from my dear friend Ed and poor little EJ, who took off on that four-wheeler, just fucking carving away. And I think I'm gonna try to give him a call right now and see what's going on. All right, folks. Come on, Eds, pick up. Hey, Ed, how's it going, man? Are you all right? How's little EJ doing?
Well, he ain't doing so well.
What happened? Is his arms broken? Is it for sure?
Yeah, both of his arms are broken.
Oh, poor little guy. I feel bad. That was pretty badass. Him riding away on the four-wheeler like that. But goddamn, man, how's that other driver doing that he ran into? It looked like they got into a pretty bad collision.
Well, he's fine. It didn't really. The Ford's still kicking it.
Oh, that's incredible. I'm surprised to hear that, but it is made out of an old Ford. So that's crazy. So what's going on? Are you in any like trouble at all? Like, are you in trouble for letting a chimpanzee roll down the street on a fucking four-wheeler?
Well, they said since this is like my first offense with an animal, they're gonna get me off of the warrant, but I have to sign some paper saying that I'm at fault for all the damages. I'm gonna have to pay a hefty fine. Their insurance is gonna screw me up the ass. I don't really have any insurance, so it's coming right out of my ass.
Oh, man. You know what? I feel so bad about it. I'm going to help you out with that one, okay, Ed? All right.
No, it's okay. It was my fault. I should have put a helmet on him.
Yeah, I don't know if the helmet...
If I had a helmet on, the monkey or the chimpanzee, it would have been all right.
Man, that sucks, And folks, just to let you all know out there, if you got a chimpanzee riding a four-wheeler, make sure he's got his proper protection, helmets, knee pads, and gloves and all that stuff, just in case there is an incident. But hey, Ed, you have any idea when you're going to be getting back to the podcast? Because our special guest is here, as you know, and he's been kind of going through some of the topics with me. We've been talking a little bit about the country, and we've done some trivia. Do you think you'll make it here by the top fives?
Well, I'm not exactly sure. I still got a lot of paperwork. I'll be back by the end of the show. We'll see. I'll be able to give a statement and whatnot.
All right, Eddie. Well, I just had to call you and see what's going on. All right, man. I appreciate you answering, and I hope everything's going all right down there.
Well, I'll see you. Hopefully, I'll see you in a bit. Hopefully, the sheriff doesn't fuck me in the ass.
All right. Well, when you get here, just give a knock on Dale's garage door. You know what I'm saying?
I do hear what you're saying. You're on speaker.
All right. Well, you're on.
Keep listening in the background. He wants to apologize for ruining your podcast.
Oh no, it's all right. It's all right.
See, this was my only phone call.
All right. Be safe down there, man. We'll see you soon. All right, so we're back here, and it looks like me and my friend over here, we're going to do some top fives. It's just going to be me and him today. So, All right, let's start on some top fives. All right, so we're going to spin this wheel here. We're going to see what we land on, and we'll go from there. All right. All right, and it looks like we're going to be stopping on top 5 places that you want to visit. All right, sounds like a pretty good topic to me. I can think of multiple places I'd love to visit, but let's start with you, my guest. What's one place you'd love to visit?
I've always wanted to go to Paris and see the Eiffel Tower.
See, I don't think I'd go to Paris just for a couple of reasons. I don't like French people very much. I hate to sound racist and whatever, but you know what? They surrender a little too easy for me. And, I've heard some nasty things about Paris. There's a lot of stabbings there. I don't know. It just doesn't sound like a place I'd want to go. Plus, they got really tight gun laws and stuff. But for me, one place that I would love to visit would be probably your home country, Scotland. I would love to go there. That would just be awesome. I mean, just to see like the cliffs and those old that old architecture, that would be incredible.
I know a guy who can get you there for a cheap price. No questions asked.
Now, would that be via boat or airplane?
I can't tell you.
All right, well, that sounds awfully suspicious there, folks. So we're going to jump into your number 2. Where's another place you just love to take a visit?
There's that place somewhere nearby here where you can stand in like 4 states at one time.
Yeah, now that's going to be the Four Corners, all right? And I've been there. It's pretty cool because you're standing in 4 places at once, kind of. It's weird because of how state laws work and jurisdictions and stuff. Four Corners was pretty cool. There's lots of tourists there when I went. But another place that I would love to visit would probably be like Greece, so that I could just really because I love history. History is an amazing thing, and I just love to see some of that Greek architecture. And I know they've got some pretty tasty food over there, and I love tasty food. And what about for you? What about another place you'd like to visit?
Would mind going to Japan?
Japan seems like it would be a pretty cool place to visit to me. I think so. We've had a kind of a rough love-hate relationship with them over the past over the past century. But they're great people, and they're one of our allies. I'd love to go over there and see the culture. It'd be kind of shocking for me because where I'm from, where I was born, and where I was raised, and for number 3, I guess a place I'd love to visit. I'm just gonna have to say Japan. That's one of the places I've wanted to go over into an Asian country, and I feel like that would be the most American Asian country to visit because I know a lot of people over there are speaking English, and it'd probably be easier for me that way. So let's see. 4. What's another place you'd like to visit?
Would mind going down to Australia, where they have like the McDonald's, where it's like gourmet because they only have like 2 in every and then pretty much the entire fucking place. Yeah,
like every province. Yeah. Australia would be a cool place. It's fucking hot down there though. Kind of like here, it gets really fucking hot, and I mean, there's see, I would have loved to see the Great Barrier Reef, but that shit is like all fucked up now, so I probably wouldn't want to go. And I don't know if it's worth fighting off koala bears and all that stuff. But for 4, I would love to maybe get up there into like the Arctic area. I would love to see that because people don't go there very often. It's kind of uninhabited, kind of just natural. I'd love to see the Arctic Circle if I could. It's going to be difficult getting up there, but maybe someday I will. And I hope if I do, I'd love to bring Ed up there because, he loves ice fishing and doing all sorts of crazy stuff like that. We'd probably go knowing Ed, he'd probably take off his clothes and go jump straight into the ice water, not realizing how cold it is. But what would be the last place you'd want to visit that you just really want to go to? Something you gotta see before you pass on.
I wanted to say Madagascar.
I see you over there. You like those islands, don't you?
No, not even that. They had that wonderful movie. You see that movie?
Yeah, I've seen Madagascar, with my family and stuff. Yeah, that's some funny stuff right there. Some shenanigans.
It's a great movie. I think Ed would fit right in over there.
Well, Madagascar. I don't know too much about Madagascar. I'm kind of lacking in knowledge about that place. I know that it is a continent in the ocean that once was connected to Africa. It technically is Africa, though, right?
Technically, yes.
All right. And for me, the last place I would love to visit if I had the opportunity before I died, I would love to see the moon. And if I could ever get a cheap flight up there or whatever, because I know we're going to be exploring space here, pretty shortly. I think we're going to be going back to the moon soon. I'm hoping to God, because it's been some time since we've been up there. I would just love to see the Sea of Tranquility, and go see some of that crazy stuff up there. I've got a map of the moon, you see, and I just stare at it all day and just wonder, what the hell is it like up there? Sometimes I stand off my back porch and just crack a couple of cold beers and gaze up there at that moon and wonder, what would Earth look like from the moon? That's like what I'm most want to see. I want to be able to see our country from the moon. That would be incredible. And that's gonna wrap it up for our top fives today. And still hoping that Eddie will return any minute here would be great, because I'm kind of missing my co-host right now. But praying for him and EJ right now, hoping that everything's gonna work out just fine. But all right, we're gonna be moving on to our next segment here pretty soon, so stay with us, folks. All right, folks, and we're back. All right, our next piece isn't really a segment or anything. We're just gonna be bullshitting, all right? So just learning here, we wanted to bring up the incident that happened earlier with Ed and EJ and the 4-wheeler and shit. That was just some crazy shit. So you had some questions you wanted to ask me about Ed and the chimpanzee, and I still don't have that much news on the chimpanzees, seeing how I just met him about 10 minutes before he went and broke his arms.
Now, where the hell did he get the chimpanzee?
He picked up the chimpanzee out of the Walmart parking lot. We got an old friend, Gene, who he works for pest control and animal control. He was our local zoo recently had an incident where they're forced to shut down. So Gene was transporting some exotic animals. He had called up Ed and said, "Hey, you want to come see some of these animals before I take them to the airport where they're getting shipped back off?" So Ed went to go meet him over there. He traded some car parts for the chimpanzee. I think he was trying to train EJ on how to be a little bit more civilized. He tried to teach him how to open cans of beers, 4-wheelers and stuff like that. Just stuff that Eddie's into. And basically he knows how to start up a 4-wheeler. He fucking sent that thing, man. He sent it wide open.
Yeah, I know Gene. I bought some stuff from him myself.
Oh, really? Gene, I didn't know if you folks have hooked up yet or not. I didn't know.
Oh, he did some work for me down a few weeks ago.
Oh, were you having some pest issues, or
give or take? Yeah.
You haven't seen any of those phantom bugs he was spouting off about, have you?
My son has. He swears. I'm not very superstitious, but my son, I had to go buy out some of that stupid bug bee going for him.
Well, you know what? From what I've heard,
though.
Exactly. From what I've heard, it works. So, folks, if you're out there listening, you got problems with phantom bugs, just try to reach out to us. We'll try to get you some of that spray. The shipping costs are going to be insane because that product is very difficult to come by, I guess. But yeah, so Gene did a little bit of work for you, and he's a pretty cool guy. But
yeah, I bought some stuff from him. That zoo isn't just a zoo, you know that, right? It's an aquarium.
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with it. I've been there a few times.
Now, I have a small fortune from inheritance from my father. Just like yourself, actually. That's uncanny, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, some people get lucky, with their dads passing away and stuff.
Well, my dad didn't pass away. He was brutally killed in a canning accident. But anyway, I bought a ton of freshwater sharks.
Oh, really?
I released them into the ecosystem.
What do you, what, now? Why did you go off and do something like that?
Because if they live and they breed, then I can just catch sharks. It's pretty
Hey,
easy.
you
They're
know,
smaller
that's
ones.
a pretty good idea. I didn't think about it that way.
And I'm not endangering any species because I'm the one who's pretty much harvesting them and growing them.
Wow, that's pretty interesting, folks.
So if EJ was into a really bad accident, we just fix him up with shark skin or something cool.
Might not be out of the realm of possibility considering. I think he probably has some really. I think he has some really bad road rash. I mean, damn, dude, he fucking slid across that pavement. He went over top of that car from what I could see. I was from a distance. I was here. We kind of just went into shock initially when that four-wheeler started up because the four-wheeler is made out of parts from an old Ford, so it's fucking loud as shit. Scared the hell out of me.
Well, I was a little bit closer. I saw the whole thing go down, really, as I was walking down the street.
really?
And I saw EJ. He hit the side of the Ford, and he went flying over it. And I saw him. He put his hands out to stop the impact, but it just wasn't working for him. And I saw his bones kind of, stick out of his arm.
Oh man,
Man, poor
I feel-
EJ, man. Nah, it's nothing nothing to be worried about. He can probably get it pretty, fixed up pretty fast.
Yeah, I'm just worried because he's a little guy. He's 3'2", and we just met and
That is
stuff.
a 3'2" chimpanzee. That thing is fat. I'm
Yeah.
assuming for Eddie who was farther away.
Yeah, well, that's Eddie for you, folks. He's always getting into some shenanigans. It's hilarious. I love Eddie. This is the first time he's brought home a chimpanzee. So
I mean, maybe we can fix up his ass. He said he had a pretty bad cheese grater accident.
yeah,
So-
he did. He grated up his ass pretty bad on the pavement.
$100 and I get you a few patches of shark skin and just cover it up, grow it in, and next thing you know, you can use his ass as sandpaper.
Ed might be interested in that. I know he's kind of short on money right now since he's going to have to be paying the fines off for that monkey incident. I mean, I didn't know there was any laws about exotic animals needing to wear helmets when they're riding four-wheelers and stuff. I mean, I guess it's kind of a basic law. Like,
It's like, of course, everyone should wear helmets.
What are you doing in my chair, you motherfucker?
my God, Ed is back.
Ed, welcome back. How's EJ doing?
Well, he's just fine. Thanks for asking.
Well, folks, it looks like Eddie's back, and,
Eddie.
and I'm glad to see him. Get over here, sir.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I think Eddie's a little inebriated right now. He came back from the sheriff. He was down at the sheriff's office filing out some paperwork, I know. Did you have a few beers along the way?
Maybe.
Now, did you walk here or what? Did you get a police escort? What's going on?
Well, the four-wheeler still works, and so I use that to drive home.
You got to be real careful about that drinking and driving, Eddie. Even on
What
a
is he
four-wheeler, it's
at?
dangerous.
Well, I've got some bad news.
If you fucking killed that chimpanzee, you're going away for a long time. That's a fucking crime in Scotland.
Yeah,
Killing chimpanzees.
please shed some light on poor little EJ.
EJ is in a terrible condition. Both of his arms were sent so far into the socket that they had to amputate him.
No, oh poor little EJ.
How's he gonna wipe his own ass?
Well, sadly, I do not own him anymore.
That's
Gene,
terrible.
Gene came back and took him. Gene told me he was going to send him back to Africa and
What about any rehabilitation? He's gonna get fucking killed on the first day. No arms.
Well, folks. So
Hold
listen,
on, Dale.
It looks
Damn.
like EJ's going away, and this is not good considering he lost 2 limbs in a four-wheeler.
How's he gonna
accident.
forage for berries or throw feces at his friends? You
I
deprived him of his whole life and culture.
I hate to say this, folks, but everybody bow your head for a second. I don't think that EJ's going to make it in the wild, everybody. So man, that really brings a lot of sorrow to my heart. I mean, I first met him. I was a little timid around him. He was pretty crazy, He probably had a few beers in him. He was already four-wheeling, so...
well, if I just had given him a helmet, they said he would have lived, and they wouldn't have had to amputate his arms.
What did he say? Now you're saying he didn't fucking live.
Wait, hold on a second. Now, was this your idea to get rid of him and send him back there? Or did your wife find out?
Well, Gene wanted to send him home.
But what about your wife? Did she find out about this?
Yeah, she found out, and well, I'm probably gonna be sleeping in the jail tonight. I don't really feel safe coming home.
Now, come on, don't be talking like that now, Eds. You know you can always stay. You could sleep right here in the garage if you needed to. Pull out an old futon for you.
Well, I appreciate that, Dale. I think I'll knock back a few more beers, but I might have to go back in for questioning tomorrow morning.
Well, you're always free to stay here, my friend, and you know, you missed out on some trivia, you missed out on some top fives, you missed out on a couple of conversations, but you know, I think that next week we're gonna come back pretty heavy into this podcast. All right, guys. You know, this week some crazy stuff happened. Ed got a chimpanzee. Poor little bastard has to go back to Africa with no limbs now. But
He still got his legs though.
well, but anyways, folks, I just want to thank y'all for, you know, tuning in, listening to what's going on. You know, stuff is always crazy around here at Dale's Garage. I'm just telling you that. And I'd like to thank my guest, Douglin, again for being here with us today and answering some questions and having a good old time.
It was a pleasure, really. I had nothing else to do. But I gotta get her home like right now because I left little McLaughlin with all the hooks, you know, fishing hooks, and he's not qualified yet to take care of the sharks or anything. They're probably hungry. You don't want to know what I feed them.
And Douglin, I know you're trained with exotic animals such as sharks, which is something you and Eddie sort of have in common with exotic animals and such. But you know, I thank you again for being here on this podcast today, and you're welcome to come back pretty much anytime. Just knock on Dale's garage door, you know, if you feel like coming down here. And Eddie, is there anything you'd like to finish us on?
I just want to apologize for missing the top 5, and if I'm not back next week, it's because I got another champ.
All right, thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Eddie. All right, guys, you know what this has been. Can I get a hell yeah from everybody here today?
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, folks, thank you. We'll see you next week.